All right, my man, state your name and let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
Peace, peace. It's loyal.
All right, you on Real Talk with Nick, man. See, you a Knicks fan, you nicked out, New York cat,
Yes, sir.
Nick attire.
All day.
Talk to me, man. How you feel about these New York Knicks, and do you like the direction we heading so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're looking good. I was worried about the chemistry because we got rid of a lot of people that have been building for a few years, and it was looking a little shaky to start. But recently, it's looking real good. Honestly, like I'm impressed with. Cat is looking amazing.
Now, speaking of Cat, I don't mean to cut you off. I know you heard the talks, the chirps, saying that he wasn't New York ready, that he's soft. Do you think we could put that to rest right now?
I mean, I honestly, like, let's say yes, we could put that to rest for sure, but I am worried about him getting injured. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Thibodeau likes to play these guys. Right now, we don't have a solid backup. As far as Precious being hurt, Mitchell's hurt. So I think when those guys come back, I'd be really excited to see how it goes. But right now, I'm curious how sustainable it is because he's playing a lot. I mean, there was a game where we lost and he was still practicing free throws after the game. Monica McNutt was out there doing the post game and he was still practicing free throws because we missed a good amount of free throws. So, he's clearly dedicated. I think he's definitely New York tough. But I think overall, in general, the NBA is soft. These guys be taking off for personal reasons and all types of shit. I don't get it, honestly.
So when we speaking at a Cat, right?
Yeah.
You're pleased with what he's doing so far?
Oh, absolutely. Blown away. Cat is Cat to the Knicks is like what Juan Soto was to the Yankees, man. Just instant impact. Instant. He's been putting up numbers. I've been impressed with him defensively. The way he shut down Joker the other night was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me about that game, man.
Yeah, that was really, really impressive, man. I mean, there was a play where they triple teamed Cat. He got fouled and still got the N1 and came back and blocked Joker on the other side of the floor. So just to see that was really impressive. The way that we beat them in that manner. It wasn't like the Nuggets had a bunch of injuries. Everyone was there. Joker was there. Roy Westbrook was there. Everyone was there. And we still whooped the floor with them. That was really impressive. Most impressive win of the season, easy.
Okay. Now, Mikal Bridges, man.
Okay.
Do you think he's worth the 5 picks we gave up, man? Yeah, I mean, he's like in the gray area. Some, is saying, we happy Mikal Bridges on board. There's others who's disappointed in Mikal Bridges so far. They feel that he could do much more. When he was with the Brooklyn Nets, he was shooting, I believe, 39% in the field.
For sure.
25-point game. Come to the Knicks, and, it's like the stock market. You don't know what he's going to get.
That's definitely true. Yeah, I think if you look at the production versus what we gave up right now, I would say, it wasn't worth it. But, I also don't think it makes sense to compare what he was doing in Brooklyn to what he's doing now, because what he was doing in Brooklyn, he was the main dude. Like, the Brooklyn put a big bet on him.
Right.
So with that said, like right now, I think Bridges is trying to figure out how he fits into this team. When you got Brunson and Cat producing the way they, and then OG can randomly go for 40 one game. I mean, how does Bridges, fit into that? I think is a big key. What I am really impressed with Bridges, I didn't realize how much of an impact defensively he was going to have. That wingspan, he's been catching steals, getting blocks. Like, that's been effective, and that's Knicks basketball right there. I think those are the things that don't always show up in the stats. You know what I mean? But he's definitely been effective while he's been on the floor, even though his stats may not have shown that. And maybe it wasn't worth the 5 picks, but let it play out. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. Now you heard what Josh Hart said in defense of Mikal Bridges. He said, "We're talking about 5 picks. You would have got a bunch of 12th graders."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I thought that was funny.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I respect that. Josh Hart, is, no pun intended, the heart of the team. He really, really puts it down every night. And, you got to respect what he says. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would argue he's almost like the second captain in a sense. Brunson is obviously the captain. But Josh Hart is a de facto leader of the team for sure. And he brings that energy and sets the vibe on the court of like, yo, we got to play every single second.
Do you think he wants to be a Knick, though?
Who's that?
Josh Hart. There's sometimes, he I don't know, like, quoted for what he's saying. Sometimes he feels lost, he said.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a potential problem?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I can't say if he wants to be a Knick or not, but I can tell that he really wants to play with his guys like Bridges and Brunson. I think that almost that is more important to him than whether he's a Knick or not.
Okay.
So hopefully that keeps him a Knick.
Yeah. So when we speak of the past plays, we let go. Like Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
I mean, Julius Randle, DiVincenzo.
Yep.
I mean, you happy?
I mean, you named a lot of people there. Like, just to start with Randall, going backwards, I hate to say this because I was the biggest Randall defender, and I was definitely sad when he left. But with what Cat is doing, it feels like he filled that void for Randall and then some. I don't miss Randall as much. DiVincenzo's not doing well right now. Who's to say like he would not be doing well if he stayed on the Knicks? But he's not doing well right now. So between those two, I'm not too worried about it. I am bummed to lose Quickly, the likes of Quickly and Barrett. They were drafted by the Knicks, and we tend to not hold on to our draft picks for whatever reason or another. I hate seeing Porzingis doing so well on Boston.
Oh, that killed me.
I hate to see that. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I definitely wish that like Barrett and Quickly could still be in the fold in some way. Barrett, and we had some great moments with them, playoff and regular season, all around. So I'm grateful for the memories.
And we almost there. Quentin Grimes, man, not Quentin Grimes. Jericho Sims.
Jericho Sims is
look like he's trying to come out his shell a little.
He's the biggest probably like what do you say like potential on the Knicks. But. I say that, and I'm also a little bit disappointed because I say that almost every year with Jericho Sims. Like, oh, maybe this is the year. We don't need Sims to do that much. We need him to lock down the paint and be a great rebounder and defender. I think that's really the biggest thing is if he can hold it down defensively and give Cat a rest, he would be a major asset. Right now, he's a little inconsistent. With the past few games, I've seen some good things, second chance points, whether it's offensive rebound and then dunking it in. He's been doing his thing in the past few games, but I still want to see more from him.
Okay.
This ain't his first year. His third, fourth year, something like that. So
Yeah. So you said the writing is on the wall? Are you indirectly saying that, man?
I mean, I hope not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it'll be interesting to see when Mitch comes back because there's an idea that Cat will move to the 4 and then Sims, could be a backup 5. We'll see how it goes, man. I think when Mitch and Precious comes back, we'll things like Sims will make a little bit more sense, hopefully.
Now, you brought up Mitch. A lot of Knicks fans saying that it might be time to let Mitch go, man.
Yeah.
Being that we got Cat, Precious Achula, and we got the Hawk.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, like, Mitch, love the guy, one of my favorite Knicks, but yeah.
He hasn't played a full season since he
injury prone. It's very disappointing that last year he was showing what his potential was, but we've all believed his potential was, but got injured again, so it is what it is, like I think I wouldn't be too mad if we got rid of him, but I am also still kind of excited to see him come back and what we can do. Like the one thing I'll say about the players that we traded off, we never saw that team at its full potential due to the various injuries and stuff. As far as
why you say that
with Randall, Brunson.
Elaborate. Why you say that?
Because always somebody was hurt for a good amount of time during different periods. So I feel like we never saw everybody all together like on a good run for a long period of time.
Jalen Brunson, our point guard.
My captain.
Your guy, your captain. Is it safe to say that the opposition hasn't figured out this season? Like his game has shifted a little. You put a bigger guard on him, and he's not as productive.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. That's the game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta switch it up. I think that's fair to say. But we've also seen more recently how he's been able to adapt to those changes too. His numbers have gone up in these past few games. He started off the season a little rough, and I think that comes down to people who kind of quote unquote figured him out. But that's the game. You got to come up with new tricks. You got to dig in that bag and figure out what's next. And I think that he's in the process of kind of finding that 2024, 2025 Brunson trick bag that will get him back in his flow. So he's been doing good.
He's been doing good.
Yeah. But he started off a little rough, but he's been doing good.
Do you think there was a little discrepancy between him and Cat, like coexisting together? Because Jalen Brunson he's wearing the captain hat.
For sure.
For sure. But then you look at Cat. Karl Anthony Towns coming in here, he's no look assists.
Right.
Like all this, you know what I'm saying? Like some people's egos get in the mist.
Yeah. I personally, I don't think it's an ego thing. I don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not texting or calling these guys.
Because some say that, Jalen Brunson don't be throwing the ball to Cat. There's times when Cat is just wide open and Jalen Brunson he's doing too much. Some will argue.
I think that there's been times where that's true, where he's definitely like dribbling too much and not willing to make a play that will involve other teammates. But ultimately, like, it's a plus that, JB doesn't have to do it all by himself anymore. Because the problem before last season and previously, we live or die on whether Brunson is putting up numbers. And the fact that we've been able to win games where statistically Brunson wasn't great, I think is awesome, So I think it really comes down more to chemistry than egos, in my opinion. And we've noticed in more recent times, you've seen these games where Brunson and Cat both putting up 30, or you know what I mean? We just need those two like outstanding scorers and hold it down defensively pretty much. Like, that's kind of where we've been at.
Okay. Now we almost over, man.
You're good.
Tom Thibodeau, man, as a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Keeper?
Big keeper. That's my guy. I would say the biggest concern is like the amount of minutes that he plays, guys. But ultimately, he really established a new / old culture for the Knicks. Meaning, like, he brought back that '90s gritty defensive, and it's not only Thibodeau. It comes down to the players too. But I think that he really instilled in the players of how defense creates offense. And I'm a big Thibodeau fan. I'm a big Thibodeau fan. We've had a lot more success in recent years under Thibodeau than under any other coach, I would say. So, I got to give him love for that. Even being in the playoffs, even getting, to the Eastern Conference Final, all of this stuff is mad. It's awesome.
Okay. And last but not least, cherry on top, my man OG Anunoby.
Yep.
OG Anunoby saying it's a slap in his face for everybody to give him accolades concerning his defense.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying I'm more than a defensive player.
Right. He's proven that.
Oh, man.
Yep. I feel like we got really lucky with OG. I feel like he's in his prime right now. Obviously, he did the career high 40 points the other day. He's not only, people took him and mistook him for only a corner 3 shooter. That's clearly not true.
He's dunking. He's behind the arc.
Mid-range, behind the arc. He's really, really showing that his play just extends far beyond what people thought. And that's impressive because being as effective as he is defensively, that's just going to create more opportunities for himself, ironically.
Right.
So, it's amazing. It's incredible. OG Anunoby is probably my favorite Knick right at this moment.
Wow. Yeah. And I think he's doing what Knick fans want to see out of Mikal Bridges.
That's fair. That's fair. Look, you can't have everybody dropping 30 or 40 every night. You know what I'm saying? So I hear the people about Bridges, but I think that they trying to find a balance, and Bridges is trying to find his role on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like if OG is going off, you got to let him go off. If Brunson's going off, you got to let him go off. If Cat's going off, how does Bridges fit into that? I think the Knicks and everyone's trying to figure that out right now.
Okay, and I'm gonna squeeze one more question in. I promise. That's it.
Yep.
Dadier.
Who?
Dadier.
Who's that?
Pacquiao. What's this?
Oh,
kid?
He's the Italian dude?
Yeah. What's the number 5?
Oh, I don't know nothing about homie. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
You gotta cut that out.
We need more playmaking, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. The people in the comments, man, they'll let us know, man. What's up, man?
Word.
But yo, man, it was a pleasure, man, having you, man.
Word, salute.
Before we cut this off totally, man, what's your predictions for the New York Knicks, man? How far do you think they're gonna go, man? Is it gonna be a second round again? And if so, would that be a failure in your eyes, man, as far as endeavors, man?
I don't like when people say, playoff failure. You can make it to the playoffs and then it's a failure. Let me just say my prediction. I think at the very least we're gonna make the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that there's a good chance that we make the finals. This all comes down to how healthy we are at the end of the season and the playoffs. If we are healthy and playing like this, and I'd expect us to be even better because we built up even more chemistry up until that point, then yeah, I don't see why we couldn't go to the finals. I think that, depending on what the matchup is, if we lose first round, that'd probably be disappointing. If we lost second round, that probably would also be disappointing. But once again, I think it really depends on the matchup. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a really, really good matchup and a team that, could give us problems, I'm not going to be too salty about it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
It is what it is.
But what we can say as New Yorkers, after watching that Utah loss and seeing what they did in Denver, that game is all forgiven.
Yeah. That's forgiven, but it hurt during the time he was watching it. But yeah, it's forgiven. Especially, after what we did in Denver, we cooked them, bro.
All right, and that's what it is on Real Talk with Nick. I want to thank my Nick and Knight up on here. We out, please.